Morning, everybody, and welcome racing at the Kenilworth track today on this Wednesday, the 15th of June. And we're pleased the racing's going ahead. There was a strong belief that that might not happen because it's been raining, I believe, in Cape Town Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. But the sun is out and hopefully, as we speak, drying out the track. Soft and heavy conditions might have prevailed, but I think as we're talking with the wind out and the sun out, it's going to dry out as we head towards that first race, which is due off at 12:40 today. Now, I'm going to focus in on the pick six on this particular broadcast. I think that's perhaps where the value lies. It's not the biggest of fields, but of course, you've got a situation where there are a lot of two-year-olds running, unraced horses as well. And as a result, in the pick six, you, as you know, have the rule where the first raced horse home counts should a first timer win the race. But let's move on to the pick six. It starts with race 3. By the way, there is a take a bet with Tab online suggestion as well, which will be coming up on the YouTube and across our socials as the day pans out. And that focuses in on the second jackpot, which commences with race 5. But race 3 is going to be an interesting race because the favorite here has been number 9, Queen of Sparta, who is a daughter of Erupt, and she's ran 4th on debut behind Porkitavar, and then a very good improvement behind Butterfly Beauty. Aldo de Mea Ride, she's certainly on form, looks the right one. Ideally, I suppose you would like her drawn a little bit closer to a lower number on the far side, because she has to race from 10, this daughter of Erupt, but she certainly is the horse from those that have raced, along with number 13, Typeface, who is a daughter of Futura, ran 2nd on debut. Being a daughter of Futura and Typeface is a daughter of Futura, but the mother is a daughter of Black Minalouche. You might argue that she needs a bit of ground to be fully effective, but she is drawn 4, and she certainly wasn't disgraced on debut, number 13, Typeface. So if you are going to take on number 9, Queen of Sparta, then the likes of 13, Typeface, I would suggest should be on your shortlist. A little bit of money for number 7, Lady of Gold, Dean Canamere's daughter of Gold Standard. I think he's very familiar with that Lady Windermere family. That Lady Windermere family and also the Cotsons, I think, have trained that family. Lady of Gold is drawn 3 and owned and bred by Gaynor Rupert at Drakenstein Stud. So if there's a follow-through for support on number 7, Lady of Gold, I would respect it. But again, that is the first-timer rule. So were Lady of Gold to win and Queen of Sparta run 2nd, then Queen of Sparta, of course, will qualify in any event with those pick 6 numbers. Just the other horse that has been supported is number 6, which is Gimme a First. Now, Keegan DeMelo rides this, but he would ride that anyway because it's owned by Lady Laidlaw from Kaya Stables. And, of course, Keegan rides not only for Dean Canamere, but also for Kaya Stables. She is a daughter of Gimme the Green Light out of a Captain Almere, but drawn 12 on debut. So interesting first race. And again, we'll leave it to you to work out. Maybe you can just get away with 9 and 13, the 2 raced runners, and hope that one of those crosses the line as the first raced runner home, even if the first timers were to win the race. So that's the opening leg of the pick 6. You have enough time to see if there's a follow through there. I should just point out the top horse there, Betty Boop, opened up 5-1, eased out a little bit in the market and is now back in at 5-1. And if I was going for a safety option, I would definitely put her in because, unlike some of the others I mentioned, she is drawn 1, Richard Ferree rides. And she's got a length or so to find, well, 3 parts of a length to find. No, exactly a length to find with Typeface, but she is drawn 1 in that race. Right, let me make sure that that tickle in my throat stays where it is. Let's move on to race 4. Now, here's going to be a banker in the 4th race, and you've got a horse that is now 8-10. Interesting, though, that number 4, Inner Morare, I would call it, is a son of master of my fate, ran behind the much vaunted yellow Porsche Road, but no winners have come from that form. Just a reminder, of course, that Grant van Niekerk's not riding today, so SK picks up a few rides, Smunga Kamala, and does look like the horse to beat. But the money has come for number 11, William Rufus. Now, again, we've got Keegan DeMelo for Dean Canamere. But once again, it is a horse that is making his debut. So if William Rufus were to win the race and Inamore were to run second, then both numbers would qualify for the pick six. So it's that kind of pick six today, which is why in the take a bet I've moved the suggestion to the jackpot. But of course, that can be derailed if you get number 11 William Rufus winning and the first racehorse home were to be something like number 9 Settle the Dust. Then, of course, number 4, Inamore, wouldn't count for your pick six. Touch of support a little bit for number 8, Master John. The tongue tie goes on for Brett Crawford, son of Pomodoro. William Cotra rides that from a useful draw of 3. But notice the money for number 11, William Rufus. But from a pick six point of view, it is on debut. Let's move on to race 5. This is the maiden special weights, fillies and mares. And here you've got number 3, Time Flies as a first timer, and number 5, Rapasa, now ridden by Smunga Kamalo as a first timer. So again, from a pick six point of view, you've got to factor in that. The 2 scratchings were not much fancied anyway. Number 6, Russian Taiga, and number 7, Turkish Kellam. So the betting here, number 4, Absolute Pleasure, is raced in the jackpot. The second jackpot, I've taken the chance with number 4, Absolute Pleasure, because again, if number 3, Time Flies, or number 5, Rapasa were to win, as long as Absolute Pleasure is the first racehorse home. Having said that, there is money for number 1, Demelza, daughter of Rafif. Richard Faree rides. It's a small field, so the draw wouldn't really worry me here. She is drawn 1, whereas Absolute Pleasure is drawn 3. But Demelza has to give 3 kilograms to Absolute Pleasure. And I think that would, for me, in any event, put the ball very much in Absolute Pleasure's court. So for me, 4 from 1 in that 5th race. Right, let's move on to the 6th race. And while we do that, I'll have another sip of water. Race 6 is a classified stakes race. And let's have a look at the betting here. I've gone fairly wide. Number 1, Absolute Bob, has to have a chance. He's 3rd run after gelding. William Cotwer replaces Grant van Niekerk here, nicely drawn at 2. Silent War won his penultimate start when shedding his maiden and was okay last time, drifted in the betting market, ran okay, but nothing to write home about. 3 Path of Choice is a 5-year-old. I'm sure he'll go well for Smunga Kamalo from a 1 draw. He likes to go handy, and he's in recent times had the benefit of no draw at all. So the fact that he's drawn 1 is certainly going to be in his favor here. He's marginally the favorite, 28-10. 4 Captive Moon is ridden by Keegan de Mello. He's got some fair form, so he's got to go in. 5 To the Moon and Back. I think it's a Savage Garden song. Greg Bortz owns, of course, with Gina and Bryn Russell and Jono Snaith himself. Won nicely, actually, on debut, so off just 56 kilograms. He's not without a shout. And the other horse that I will put in, just in case, is number 6, Sky God, who's only got 54 kilograms to carry. 7 Fly to Rio, we're still awaiting a riding replacement at the time of me broadcasting this. And in any event, unfortunately, she's going to be 2 kilograms overweight. So that's the 6th race. Let's move on to the 7th race. And here we've got the nursery winner, We're Jamming, who is going to be the 6-10 favorite. And really does set a standard, as I mentioned, won the nursery and has subsequently been bought by Greg Bortz and Gina Goldsmith, so it'll race for them today. I thought it was quite a nice run behind Tchaikovsky, who's himself no slouch, bearing in mind that he was giving Tchaikovsky 4 kilograms, and it was a good run. He's got the bonus of Aldo de Mare and the 1 draw, and as I mentioned, he won the nursery pretty well. So he is a potential banker for punters today. Interesting, the money for number 4, Long Path. But again, if you're talking about pick sixes, were Long Path to win on debut, as long as from a pick six point of view, number 7, We're Jamming is the first racehorse home, then again, you don't have a problem. So We're Jamming to me is going to be the banker. The danger, if there is one, not so sure there is, but if there is one, it might be number 8, Epsom Girl, who herself has been running against some decent horses. And I think Richard Faree rides again. He's unbeaten on this daughter of Pomodoro and is drawn well enough at 5. So for me, in this race, I went number 7, We're Jamming, and the danger, number 8, Epsom Girl. And that leads us on to the last race of the day, which I thought was quite competitive, actually, and probably the most value race on the card where you might get a result and be able to catch a nice swinger or trifecta, because the field is of 10 runners. Number 7, Call It Fate, is the only scratching. Let's just go up and show you the full field. Number 1, Academic Gold, has 60 kilograms to shoulder. Corne Orpha rides in place of Grant Fanica. Got a chance, but has drawn 7. I'm looking elsewhere for the value. Number 2, Raising Quinn, sets a decent standard. She's drawn 3. I think she's much better than her last run, so ignore that. I'm not sure she'll be on the premises, but again, she's got 59.5 kilograms. My first choice, my joint first choice probably in the race, is number 3, Rewrite the Stars. I like the booking of SK. Smunga Kamalo rides from a 1 draw. This will suit her to no end because she likes to go up the pace and be handy. So she's going to be in that position for nothing. And also, if you have a look, she's been running in fillies and mares 90s and 92s and in the Jamaica handicap. And she's actually got Raising Quinn just about beaten when she ran 6th behind her, because the turn in weights there is 4 kilograms. And with no disrespect to jockey bookings, SK now rides, and that day Rewrite the Stars was drawn 8 out of 9. So I like Rewrite the Stars a lot in this last race today at 5-1. 4, Thriller's going to have to improve. 5, Della's Sword might be a danger. Was drawn 10 out of 10 last time. Gets a better draw of 6 here, and you can never rule out Louis Kotwa and Brett Crawford. It could be a really good day for Greg Bortz. He owns this one as well in partnership. Then number 6, Panzanella. This is my roughie in the race. She's a daughter of Dynasty. She's perhaps got a little bit to find on form, and she's also not well drawn at 11, but her running style suggests to me anyway that she'll be switched off at the back of the field and be coming with a late rattle. Certainly from that draw of 11, that's probably the decision that Dean and Keegan will make. She's not used to getting a good draw anyway. 3 runs back, she was drawn 11 out of 11. And then last time she was drawn 9 out of 10. But I do think that she's better than some of that form. And, you know, she's getting now a little bit of weight. She's getting a kilogram from Rewrite the Stars, and she's getting how much she'll get, as much as 3 kilograms from Raising Quinn. So I do give her a little bit of a chance. That is number 6, Panzanella. Just completing the field. Or 7 out, I told you, scratched. 8, Parisian Girl, was poorly drawn last time. Much better draw with Richard Free on board, so could upset. Number 9, Magical Java, goes very well with Greg Sheen. Was initially going to be ridden by JP van der Merwe, but Greg Sheen has got the ride back because JP's still not riding. 10, Impressive Queen's been backed at long odds. They've taken the blinkers off. She's going to have to get over from that 10 draw. She does have a little bit of wet weather form, though. She's won in the wet, so perhaps there are worse 25-1 shots out there. And likewise, number 11, Hammy's Fan, who likes it wet and has got bottom weight of 53. So as I mentioned, I think this race is a race that does offer a little bit of value for punters who are that way inclined and don't like to just go for favorite after favorite after favorite. So that's the story of the last race. I think the value in the race for me, probably with number 3, Rewrite the Stars. 6, Panzanella, I think is better than recent form, but those bottom weights could surprise. So that's my take on today's pick 6 down at Kenilworth. Have a good day's racing, everybody. Don't forget, there will be a video up with the take a bet suggestion, which will be the 2nd jackpot today. And don't forget, of course, it's day 2 of Royal Ascot. It was absolutely fantastic to watch yesterday. Well, not everything. Irad Ortiz. Oh, I don't know what Wesley Ward was thinking there, taking a guy who'd never been to Royal Ascot, who was waiting for the bell, looking behind him as the gates opened, and then missed 2 lengths and went to the front over the next 300 meters. I think if I was Frankie Dettori, I'd do a Leicester Pickett and walk past them and say, missing me? But I think they did. Anyway, day 2 of Royal Ascot today. Should be fantastic race. Enjoy.